Obasanjo on Sunday attacked President Muhammad Buhari, accusing him of plotting to rig the general elections. Let me start from Ziggy Ibe. I'm sure you're aware of the statement made by Obasanjo saying that Buhari is behaving like Abacha, trying to rig the elections, and of which the APC ruling party says that they are not rigging the elections.
In all fairness, the way Baba is going about the whole thing is becoming a nuisance to the polity. Building up to other elections before now, Baba had written so many letters indicating who he wants to support in his bid to make the country work. He has written so many letters. At this point we are now, I don't think a sane mind would want to listen to Obasanjo in all I said about the present administration and the leadership. If Obasanjo wants us to believe in all he has said, he should expunge all he has written in his book, My Watch. I read that book every day. And why I read that book? Because every book penned or every article written is the whole thing, the whole words or the whole information is coming from the caprices of the heart.
Yes.
So all he has written is all about all he knew about someone. Obasanjo book majorly dwells on article whom he had worked with as the second person. I listen to his videos, I listen to his words. I go through that books every day. And it had all depicted that Atiku was bad. So coming out at this point shows a same mind that Obasanjo is being haunted by his past. Look, why is he crying this loud? Before, we were looking at what he was saying as, okay, he loves the country, he wants this. But he's beginning to sound too louder. And this loudness is becoming downer for him. He is not being seen as an elder statesman we used to know him for, but beginning to be seen as one who is beginning to play a dangerous game. That despoil among the killjoys. If Obasanjo actually wants to tell us about the right way to go on this country, he has a better chance. Or if he still wants to remain relevant in the corridors of power, there are so many other ways he could do it than casting aspersions on the persons Nigerians lost so much. I'm not being political here. I'm looking at Obasanjo as all he wants to do, because he's playing a spoilers game. Okay, you've had your 8 years. These are people, do you know the pain that arises from all he says? It comes to my mind that these are people who has a singular opportunity to right the wrongs of this country. They did not.
All right, let's see.
Only for him to come now and begins to begin to bamboozle all of us into his own belief that someone somewhere is not good for us.
All right,
when you were there, what did you do?
Okay,
did you right the wrongs that were before you?
Okay, now let's hear from you.
Oh, wonderful. Baba again on the news. There are news, or the media people will always say there are news makers, there are news reporters, and there are news watchers. So Baba would rather come within the category of those who make the news. And making the news sometimes doesn't really mean that you are making sense of the news item you are putting on the public domain. Having looked at the personality of Baba, I would say he belongs to the class of 67, or the class of 66.
66.
The class of 66, the letter 66, that is the July 66,
Sure.
That eventually they prosecuted the war and then eventually got into power after the war, and then he benefited from one of the first, the ousting of Gowon, and he also benefited that as much as he took over the reins of power, he handed over to a democratically elected government of late Shehu Shagari in 1979. And ever since, he went back, he's been writing letters, he's been in the habit of writing books too. And in his class, there are few that are still alive today. And the much that are still alive today, or even beyond his class, those after his class, he has positioned himself as a vocal person. He's a statesman, no matter how anybody would want to look at it. He's a personality, whether you love him, hate him, he would always say his mind. When he feels anyhow about an issue, he never retards back and hides his feeling about that matter. So I agree with you that on the eve of elections like this, on any matter that springs up, he comes out, addresses press conference, and then lets his mind be known. So take it or leave it, he is somebody that takes a stand on issues. Whether history will judge him right or wrong on that issue per time, he doesn't really care. But whether he will speak up once issues arise in his beloved country, Nigeria, it is very, very correct. His morality in so doing, his political correctness in so doing, those ones are subject matter for another day. But let us look at the latest letter, Baba of many epistles. The latest one is that they're all scaring us on the page on newspapers today, and there are going to be topics for discussion in most media houses between now and tomorrow, and maybe in the week. The points he made, is there not a cause? Are they not points that have been canvassed one way or the other by the political divides of APC, PDP, and the other parties regarding the 2019 election, and regarding INEC's preparedness, and regarding some appointments, regarding the procedures, and regarding the entrenched interests? Are they not worthy of discussion? What about the CJN matter that is the issue boiling at this moment?
Yeah.
Are there not issues? Baba is not telling us something strange. So I don't know why people will get angry at him.